No one prepares you for the moment when everything you believed about love shatters in your hands. You spend years being the ideal partner, remembering every important date, working overtime to build the life she dreamed of, being her emotional anchor through every crisis, and still wake up one morning to find her emotionally distant, speaking in short sentences, avoiding eye contact like a stranger planning her escape. The confusion that follows is devastating because nothing adds up logically. You gave everything you had, sacrificed your own desires repeatedly, prioritized her happiness above your own, celebrated her victories as if they were your own. Yet she's pulling away as if none of it ever mattered. The question haunting your sleepless nights isn't just, why is she leaving? But the deeper, more painful, how could someone abandon what we built together over all these years? You replay every conversation, every gesture, every tender moment, searching for the crack in the foundation, the moment everything started unraveling. But you can't find it. From your perspective, you remain the same loving, devoted partner right until the end. You never stopped trying, never stopped caring, never stopped showing up in every way you knew how. The answer is both simple and devastating. She was never loyal to what you built together, to the life you created, or the future you planned. She was only loyal to how you made her feel. And that feeling has quietly disappeared without either of you realizing it was happening. Chapter 1. The Loyalty Paradox. Understanding female loyalty requires accepting a truth that challenges everything we're taught about relationships. A woman's loyalty isn't anchored to your consistency, reliability, sacrifices, or track record of being there through difficult times. It's tied to something more immediate and powerful: the emotional state you create within her nervous system when you're together. This doesn't make her shallow or ungrateful. It makes her human. Her body responds to energy, presence, and emotional polarity in ways that bypass logical reasoning entirely. When she feels alive, desired, and emotionally stirred in your presence, loyalty flows naturally and deeply. But when that feeling fades, when your presence becomes predictable and energetically flat, her heart begins to wander even while her mind tries to convince her to stay. Men struggle with this because we approach love like a business contract. We believe consistent good behavior, reliability, and meeting her needs should guarantee increasing loyalty in return. We think love operates like a savings account where deposits of kindness accumulate compound interest, making her progressively more attached over time, but her heart doesn't maintain a ledger of your good deeds. Her entire being responds to the energy you bring right now. Today, in this moment, you could have been perfect for years, but if your current presence feels weak, needy, or emotionally muted, her attraction begins slipping away regardless of your shared history. David discovered this when his wife of 7 years left him for a personal trainer she'd known for 3 months. David was everything any woman should want: a successful architect who'd bought her dream home, supported her through graduate school, helped raise her teenage nephew when her sister died, and never raised his voice during any disagreement. He was stability incarnate, reliability personified. Everything relationship experts claim women desperately need, yet she chose uncertainty over security, potential heartbreak over guaranteed devotion. When he asked her to explain this seemingly irrational decision, she could only say that being with the other man made her feel electric again in ways she'd forgotten were possible. The heartbreak wasn't just losing her, it was realizing that all his love, expressed through countless actions and unwavering commitment, had become invisible to her emotional experience. Chapter 2. The Modern Acceleration. Today's world has fundamentally changed how quickly emotional connections fade and how easily they're replaced. We live in an era of infinite options where boredom doesn't have to be endured, where emotional stimulation is one swipe away, and where alternatives appear constantly on every screen. When a woman feels disconnected from her partner, she no longer has to sit with that discomfort and work through it like previous generations did. She can instantly access validation, excitement, and emotional highs through social media, dating apps, or online communities. The contrast between a stagnant relationship and the thrilling possibilities available through technology becomes stark and difficult to ignore. This creates monkey branching. People don't usually end relationships until they have already emotionally invested in someone new. She doesn't consciously plan betrayal, but when someone else sparks feelings that have been dormant in your relationship. Her heart shifts before her actions do. She starts comparing how she feels with you versus this new person, and familiarity rarely wins that comparison. Michael, a recently retired firefighter, experienced this when his girlfriend of 5 years left him for someone she met in an online cooking class. Michael had provided emotional stability, helped her start her own business, supported her through her mother's illness, and shared every aspect of his life with her. But this other man offered something Michael couldn't compete with: novelty, mystery, and the intoxicating rush of new emotional connection. He didn't provide better practical love, more security, or deeper commitment. He provided better feelings. And in today's hyper-connected world, feelings often trump everything else, including logic, history, and practical considerations. What made it particularly devastating was that this man lived across the country, had never met her in person, and knew virtually nothing about her real life, struggles, or personal history, but he represented pure possibility and unlimited potential without any of the ordinary relationship responsibilities that naturally occur when building a life with someone. He didn't have to navigate her bad moods, support her through family drama, or help with daily stresses. He only existed in the exciting context of flirtation and romantic fantasy. The speed at which this replacement happens has accelerated dramatically. What once took months of gradually growing apart now occurs in weeks. The constant availability of alternatives means when satisfaction decreases, replacements are immediately accessible rather than requiring patience or effort to rekindle what's been lost. Chapter 3: Presence over Performance. The solution isn't becoming an entertainer, constantly generating feelings for her. That leads to exhaustion and inauthenticity. The answer lies in understanding the difference between performing for love and embodying authentic presence that naturally draws people in. Most men, especially those previously hurt, try earning love through service. They anticipate needs, avoid conflict, and shape themselves around their partner's preferences, believing this demonstrates commitment, but they gradually disappear as individuals, becoming relationship functionaries rather than the strong men their partners originally chose. Genuine presence doesn't chase, convince, or constantly adapt. It exists with quiet confidence, emotional stability, and authentic self-knowledge. It's the energy of a man who knows his worth, speaks truth kindly but firmly, and doesn't lose himself in the relationship. This creates natural polarity and tension that keeps attraction alive long-term. Thomas learned this during his 10-year marriage. He'd spent years avoiding anything that might upset his wife, agreeing to everything, gradually abandoning his hobbies and friends to focus entirely on their relationship. He systematically minimized his opinions and desires whenever they conflicted with hers. Believing this showed love and dedication, when she finally asked for divorce, she said something that cut deeper than any anger could. She felt married to a ghost rather than a man. His attempt to love her perfectly had made him impossible to love because no authentic self remained for her to connect with, respect, or feel attracted to. Healthy relationships require some friction, some playful resistance, some moments where you maintain your position even when accommodating would be easier. Not from stubbornness, but from deep self-knowledge and confidence. This gives her something solid to lean into rather than something that bends with every emotional breeze. Final reflection. If you're reading this after losing someone you love deeply, know this experience carries profound growth opportunities. The relationship ending doesn't mean your love was worthless or you failed. You likely loved the only way you knew how, but perhaps lost sight of yourself in the process. Moving forward isn't about becoming colder or less generous. It's about loving from fullness rather than emptiness. strength rather than neediness, choice rather than desperation. It's remembering that your most attractive quality isn't willingness to do anything for love, but commitment to remaining yourself while in love. This means holding your opinions and expressing them respectfully, maintaining your interests and friendships, speaking truth with compassion but without apology, being generous with love but not at your integrity's expense, creating space for her without making her your entire existence. The version that originally attracted her is still there, perhaps buried under years of compromise but waiting to be rediscovered. That man didn't need to earn attention because he was naturally compelling in his authenticity. He didn't perform love because he embodied it through presence, confidence, and unwavering sense of self. Start there. Return to that centered man, not to win her back, but to reclaim yourself. When you love from that place, you attract love that doesn't require you to disappear to deserve it. Your strength is still here, quiet and steady, waiting to be felt again.